on back everyone to Total War Warhammer 3 in part 4 of our Immortal Empires Tamurkhan campaign. In today's episode we are here a whole turn later where we've got Tamurkhan and Mubebelos who are welcome you to this episode. The only differences from previous are we've kicked out one of our units of ToDs and replaced them with some Bile Trolls. We're now the only unit in our entire army that doesn't quite have a specific name, so hurry up, take to the comments and name our big stinky boys. As far as the rest of our name convention, we have the Doombolt's Guard, the Axes of a Nurglith, the Gangrenous Gores, of course the Frolicker's Bubonic, the Giggling Goop, the Tumorous Tallyman, Bringers of Bubos, or Shrek is a Life from previous comments there. We've got the Chaos Dwarf Blunderbusses that also still need a name. We've got the Rolling Forsaken for how these guys are likely going to fall in combat. We've got Tamurkhan's Fist, Kazakh's Riders, the Thing, the Yoshis, our unnamed Bile Trolls, and the Bird Flu. So the other thing I noticed while looking through here and naming our lads on up is it looks like the Beasts of Nurgle now have an immunity to flanking, so there is going to be no penalties whatsoever when flanked. And have a new trait that is only available to very few units. The only other one that I can think of at the moment being the Bastiladons over the Lizardmen. So that will be great to keep in mind. As for what we're going to be up to next, it's time to take the fight to Kislev. We need some more dominance.
Your very existence is an offense.
My very existence is an offense. Well, what I'm going to do is come over here and talk to the Cool Tribe.
Are you after a drink?
Trying to make myself a vassal.
Both?
I would like your gold and your soul. We'll join your war with the Urson Revivalists, and you shall indeed become my vassal. And give me all your money.
It's done.
It's done. Let's see how many wars these guys get us involved in. Did they immediately cease fighting? Oh no, they're just joining us. Although it does look like they just immediately ceased fighting the Urson Revivalists. Weird. You've betrayed me already, Bastion. Now, Bastion Nightbane is our first vassal, falls to Nurgle. Looks like he's about to fall to Boris as well, so I'm glad we took the money while we could. Tamurkhan, destroy. We need just 2 more dominance to give ourselves a new chieftain, and I think we're going to go for the Chaos Lord one, so I'll encircle up here and show you my plans. I did offer a choice here, but I think the best call is going to be for good old Kargan the Crazed, since we do have several Kislev. We just have Boris nearby. We could just keep beating up his settlements, even the smaller ones, sacking them on repeat, and building up our allegiance with Kargan, which I think is a really good idea. Also allows us to build up some of our dominance along the way. On that in turn, we also received the quest for the Black Cleaver, which means taking down the Gates of Nuln, as his decaying forces ooze and lactate their way across the countryside, seemingly unopposed. Tamurkhan's trail of putrid slime taints what lush flora remained, pleasing the Ur-Father greatly. Now Tamurkhan sets his sights on the great imperial city of Nuln. His gift to Nurgle, a crucial step on his terrible journey to demonhood. It will be no easy task, however, as the garrison at Nuln is prepared for the oncoming incursion. From the Empire's finest to the common small folk, all are ready to lay down their lives, nay, their very souls, in defense of the homeland, in a haze of black powder and artillery smoke. Tamurkhan scoffs at such futile resistance, for all will be crushed before him, and the city will embrace its new, feted patron soon enough. In 1,000 favor, the Black Cleaver, which is a pretty scary, unique weapon there. 6 extra defense, or 6 extra Nurgle corruption, 20 more melee attack, 40 armor piercing damage, and then the Black Cleaver activated ability, which is a 35-meter radius drop down. It'll imbue magical attacks, 24 more melee attack, and then a heap of bonuses to weapon damage. Also make good old Tamurkhan immune to all contact effects. Really good stuff. Forces here are not going to be any kind of joke. Those we're going to want to continue to build up Tamurkhan's lads a little bit more, get a few more of his chieftains under our belt before launching that invasion. We'll start with dealing with Marat. He's got himself some Akshina ambushers and a Frostworm. Haven't gotten a fight against one of these big icy boys yet, so let's go ahead and take to the field. Will also allow us to limit our own casualties for the return fight with Boris. Alright, so let's start deployment, and what makes our Bile Trolls special is they've of course got regeneration like your normal trolls do, but they've got the Corrosive Bile passive, which drops enemy melee defense by 6. They have 3% physical resistance, really. We've got to do what we can to change that. That is a very small amount. So going to be throwing all of the arrows at us, but that is only going to be until we actually close the gap, and then at that point it is too late. We'll set the blunderbusses up to get ready to go after first the Winged Lancers and then Frostworm in that order. We'll have the Ogres go off to the sides, we'll have the Plague Bearers be our front line. Nurglings up amongst in them as well, since all of these guys are going to have a little bit of a well, I mean, they've got extra charge defense, so they can pretty much stop the Winged Lancers or even the Frostworm Cold. We've got Tamurkhan to go straight through the lines and just start harassing all of the Kossar groups. We'll have him rolling right behind our chariots. Meanwhile, Kha'Zix can come in on the other side. His toads come on in behind him as well. Kha'Zix, Rot Knights, and the toads. Should be a fantastic team, and we'll have the proper armored lads coming in behind.
We are the plague.
As to horrors behind them. Well, these are our Bile Trolls. Actually, these are a pretty good idea to have right next to our shotguns, because they'll be able to heal through any kind of nonsense. I don't think our Ogres have regeneration. No, they're just man-eaters that are poisony. Load them over here. Bird Flu also to go after any of the skirmish cavalry, because they should beat, or even light cavalry, because they should beat the likes of the Kossovite dervishes pretty easily. Lastly, we'll have Doom Bolt set up, probably with the blunderbusses to make sure they're still able to fire. Doug, hang out in the center. Get the infantry. And just put the Nurglings in guard mode so they're not charging up and into nonsense. Battle begin. Battle begin. We'll grab the whole army, just gotta move them on in. We've got no real missiles. As our Doom Bolt is, and he can start blasting Kossars, especially with his very explosive damage. Pretty much just had them charge right through this front line of Kossars. Shotgun lads, I'm probably going to have them go after the Frostworm. We have plenty of other units that can deal with the likes of the Winged Lancers. Chariots have broken away a little bit there. ToD Dragon looks awesome, doesn't he? Several bits of them look like they've been stitched together, but I don't think that's how the ToD Dragons are going to work. He's just huge and covered in teeth. Let's go for some portal glyph here. If everyone wants to clump up in this general vicinity, we can just toss down the Pandemicium. We'll have these Furies chase off these Horse Archers here. Tamurkhan, let's get straight in on this group of Kossars. Out pretty well. Oh no, the bitterness of winter. Whatever shall we do? Actually, and I guess these trolls are a little bit too close. They're sort of getting hit by the enemy missile fire there. And send in the boys. The Nurglings are going to take a little bit of damage on the initial charge, but they'll be fine. Go for raids and visitations on the Patriarch. Kha'Zix drop the defense there. Perfect. Toads go through after this group of Kossars. Not that many big groups of It's the lights running around. Chopping them up. The RR Nurgly's taking a little bit of damage on the charge end, which is not great. They are fighting against armored Kossars and the like, so let's switch that up a bit. Shotgun's doing some serious work. He took all half health with one volley. Give him another one. Full animations are done. They'll be done very soon. Basic, you go after this group of Pakshina. Send the Rot Knights through.
Obliterate them! Fly, bearer.
That spell is now a spreading one where you drop it on one and it will spread to 5 enemies nearby when overcast. Pretty good change there. Others are taking some damage. They haven't really lost any models. Just Blue Babylos feasting.
Corpses! Thralls of Decay!
They need to smash into us. They don't mean to, my friends. They have already done so. Blue Babylos that does so love giblets.
Nurgle's favorite.
Go ahead and heal up these Nurglings up front here.
For the mother lord!
By their blood has popped.
North decides!
Let everyone here turn and help. Casting should heal everyone around us, so we'll just keep doing what we can, and like Auto Resolve predicted, there's a victory. Maggot host successful once more, a little bit of treasury under our belt. We're going to go ahead and sack the monolith of Festerlung as a heap of gold, and we are also going to try to lure in other Kislevite armies to try to defend it, so we will then set up very close by if we're able. Or not. Can we sprint back into friendly territory then? Yeah, absolutely will then. Because staying in the motherland and taking blizzard damage is not what we're here for. We'll take the Bilious Thunderguff though, it's a whole Chaos Giant. And since it should count as a mortal, should get all buffed up by all of Tamurkhan's goodies. Mission successful. After defeating 1 Kislev settlement, we get 6. That seems a little bit bugged, but I'll take the 15,000 favor and 2,000 infections. If I must. That means I think I'm going to come back over to the plains of Zanbaijin and actually delete to this building. Before we do so, though, let's grab the cultist and hero that we're able to. Expert charge defense and more melee defense sound great.
Of the Fly Lord.
This will put us in the negative. I think we'll be alright for a turn or two. Scaled skin is 5% physical resistance. Let's go for just the unearthly reflexes. Ludred.
Sickness is
Cool, and then from there we'll go ahead and demolish this building. We don't need the walls. We have claimed good enough territory there. As soon as that's out, we'll go ahead and put in the building that allows us to get more toad dragons. Rid Unclean ones, Plague Ogres of both types, and then the toad dragons at tier 7 and 8. And the other thing that's changed is our Lord of Nurgle has been switched out for the counter of scoliosis, so those people that came to your school and made sure your spine was aligned, this is them now. Fueled yet? We've switched them out for a Herald of Death, that way as soon as they get to rank 15, I can get myself a Great Unclean one. This will be where we put all of our demonic forces, so I'm going to try to make them... This is a demonic-themed army, where we're going to have Tamurkhan be switching most of these guys up for his chieftain forces. So nothing we're going to get in his army here is going to be anything that comes from anything other than his chieftains, except for maybe our 2 warriors. They're likely going to be changed out for Chosen if we're able to. Tamurkhan's next skill. Terror from Plague Ogres, but we only have the single unit. Let's go for more Blessed by Blight. Keep dropping that upkeep. For the Befouled, let's go Body Mass. So 10% more hit points, 10% more mass. Start working towards Indomitable here. Unbreakable and Corrupted Flesh. Points greater than 75%, he has 20% extra resistance.
Favored of
You have to
Nurgle.
cut through all the rot to even get to Kasich. Quite a gross thought. For Ezar here,
Our host grows as our enemies fall.
this is just time to start working down his normal combat line. Epidug, let's give you an additional point into Rancid Visitation to snipe out Patriarchs and the like. Patriarchs and Ice Witches usually have very, very low health. Gotta counteract the abilities they get for losing health. A strange combo there. We can go ahead and drop in some Plague. Recruitment health, upkeep on Nurgle armies does sound very good. Maybe we go Growth. So Growth, movement range, and then melee attack. For one, I'm just going to spread around in our own provinces. We'll take Zeus away. Come on back down to... You want to go for whatever has the lowest chance of spreading to? I guess we'll give this to the counter Scoliosis and let him kind of drag it through our settlements here. I'm going to increase the spread chance by the maximum, increase the duration by the maximum. This is going to be an incredibly expensive play, but I think it'd be worth it, especially all this growth spreading around. So we'll go ahead and infect Mr. Scoliosis.
Disease afflicted.
Glorious.
Vile.
Got Daja von Niebowitz Skysit. What a name. We will... We just camp up next to the Bleeding Spire. Or even inside, so that way the Plague has a better chance of spreading there. We've already recruited them this turn. We'll have you come join the counter. Ledred and Thyrus. Got all the gold, and once again, not a whole lot to spend it on. So we'll make another Plague here with Tamurkhan here next turn. We want to make one now. Let's see if I can get one that has any attrition. Okay, so we'll do Sufferer's Attrition, less ammo, then Nurgle Corruption. Actually, sounds like a really good combination here, so we'll increase the spread chance, and then we'll just give this to Tamurkhan. Great, now we will be a little bit less crazy with how we're spending our infections. 6 dominance. And just one more plague spread and we get the ToD dragons unlocked. How much do you think they're going to cost for dominance to get one? Probably do need to get one as soon as we can though, right? Not a demon, causes terror. Just a big nasty beast. Wait, let's check diplomacy real fast. Disciples of the Shut would like some deals to be had. Merely for this old dwarf to get about. Oh, he's pretending to be an old, weak man. Absolutely not, he is terrifying. But if I take this non-aggression pact, then I can't fight him. Which you might ask, why would I fight Astragoth? Because the only Chaos Dwarf that I believe Tamurkhan makes friends with is the exiled Drozowith. So we are gonna probably just end up fighting Astragoth. We'll take some money from him for now. He doesn't have very much, does he? Or Astragoth.
Really?
That's when you're gonna get Astra bashed. I don't think he's so far away from Astragoth. Until they start making deals, they shouldn't actually be friends.
What do you
They're so competitive. Chaos Dwarves would be like that. We need to kind of leave these Chaos Dwarves here to be our enemies. As weird as that might sound. Everyone is Tamurkhan's enemy because they don't follow Nurgle. Alright, in and the turd. I've got a cult. I completely missed this. Dread Rock. Great. Let's just go for another Plague Cult Refuge. Growth higher than 200. And more infections and 100 more gold. Back up north, and it has us sitting with the counter. It's not happy that they haven't moved for the turn. It'll be fine. And we pass.
You still have a tongue to talk?
For now, he wants to have an aggression pact for 900 gold. No. Plus, Tamurkhan isn't actually one of the Warriors of Chaos, so we're not actually here to make a whole bunch of vassal networks. We're here to destroy everything and return it to Grandfather's Garden. Valesian has claimed the sword. We've got some plagues that's spreading on about. But none of them are attrition plagues, sadly enough. I also see no Boris. There's no telling where he went. We are going to move on in then and take the Monolith of Festerlong. There's a Stepan. Chances are very good that Boris is going after the home front and ignoring Tamurkhan completely. He's going for Scipio Africanus. Way to win. Check your respect. We've got 7 dominance now. And should allow us to go ahead and recruit in Hagen the Crazed. Welcome, sir.
I've souls to Sally.
He's got souls to Sally. Give us more movement range after raising settlements, more income from raising, his virulent boon, which makes him a Jabberslife that also likes being witnessed. He's pretty dang good. And as we fight Bretonnia Empire, Cathay, or Kislev, or raise settlements, we will start building up his allegiance. He gives us Aspiring Champs, Hill Cannons, and Dragon Ogre Shaggoths, or Shaggoths. Some tales told in bawdy taverns are recounted amid frightening whispers in small towns describe Hagen the Crazed as the personification of chaos itself. Gripped by delirium and madness, this distinguished warrior of chaos is exalted by the ruinous powers, drawing on the most avid worshippers of blood and carnage to his banner, to wreak havoc upon the mortal realm. Though he spirals in a blood frenzy of his own making, Hagen is not without direction. He leads his warband against the forces of order wherever they appear, and pledges himself to any cause that will lead him to the heart of violent slaughter. We've got the Bone Breaker now. Tamurkhan, his favorite of Nurgle trait has improved. Alright, Kargan, you go ahead and join on up with Tamurkhan here. We'll go ahead and get rid of this giggling pile of goop.
All a part of the cycle.
Just take Kargan the Crazed.
All things rot. Feel Nurgle's vigor.
Feel Nurgle's vigor. Do you have anything extra going for it? He gets a Chaos Dragon. What an exalted champion you are. Cool. And then he's got the Warband of Crazed, or of the Crazed. Extra relations with the Warriors of Chaos and missile resistance for the whole army. Bloodlust. He buffs up the units he provides through his chieftain abilities, as well as the Chosen of Nurgle. And then Frenzied Assault. Whichever one in 35 meters gets more charge bonus and melee attack. That is pretty glorious. We'll take the extra training. He also gets either Ruinous Wrath or Ruinous Leadership. Let's definitely go for Wrath or Magical Attacks and Weapon Strength. Chaos Gladiator, Chaos Commander, or Strategist. Since he's flying around on a dragon, let's make him a Gladiator. Kargan needs to be an Exalted champion. This is a hero, but we're making him a champion. Kargan the Crazy. Cool, is there any more items I can hand on over to Kargan here? He's already got the Virulent Boon. Let's give him a Potion of Toughness. Should allow a little bit of healing. No ancillaries to really pass out. We'll have to gain more items through battle. And then as Bonebreaker goes up, we'll get to... Oh, looks like we just gain more income from raising settlements up to 20% faction-wide. PHE is pretty dang good. Welcome, Kargan, and your Daedric Axe. Alright, Isaac. Let's go for Contagious. Don't really need to worry about buffing him up at all. This is just more of a win more. For Doombolt, let's go more Missile Strength. Epidug, we will circle back around to grabbing a Stream of Corruption to rip apart any groups that are harder for us to bust up with, more like groups of archers and things. Rule of Leeching just saps enemy power recharge. Don't like that ability so much. Not the most useful. Looks like all we can summon in are a few more rot flies, so we will hold off on them for now.
Warlord and conqueror.
Fantastic.
Plague.
Spit it on out.
I bring grandfather's love.
Send you in to increase his mobility.
Our steps.
Send you in to defend. And then everywhere else we're just kind of waiting. Looks like Astrogoth is cleaving through the mountains pretty effectively, so he's going to be a nice barrier between us and Grimgor. You'll love to see it.
My life shortens.
We'll come on in and grab the Lesser Garden of Blight. Strange conditions recreated in these gardens mimic that of Father Nurgle's very own, aiding the progression of his lesser and greater demons alike. If that's on in, we'll get a War Shrine and 2 beasts. Pretty good payoff. I can get rid of the growth building so we can see what we are gaining through salt. Income and a pretty hefty drop to your recruitment cost. I like it.
Fear not. I won't jump down your throat.
Ooh. No promise. Let us put aside our ancestral enmity and work as one. Defensive alliance with Zatan. I guess Grimgor is a huge threat.
Soul after.
That will have to do. Overzealousness. Hazing the befouled stirs and frustration among your allies, fostering resentment through aggression and disregard. His constant charging into the planned artillery path, not to mention his disparaging of Hashut as no true Chaos God, has enraged as our Doombolt. You need to calm down, Kasich. As the two allies stand close to coming to blows, the furious Chaos Dwarf demands satisfaction. He can either side with Doombolt. Kasich goes too far. His divergent devotion to Nurgle does not triumph over the need for good steel. I don't think this is something that Nurgle would allow. Side with Kasich. Nurgle guides his chosen rightly. Kasich can do and say as he pleases. Or a middle course. The zealous charges must be withheld, and the barrage until the barrage has ceased. We're actually going to go ahead and take a middle course here. We don't necessarily need them at each other's throats, but I don't necessarily need to chuck one of them off the side of a bridge yet either. The cooler building up some defenses for us, glorious. And the more minds that fall to the glorious delirium of Grey Fever, and the more voices that gibber in senseless madness, the more fertile Nurgle's cantankerous domain becomes. Extra growth and less rush cycle cost. Oh, we're up to committed for Kasich, so we get even more movement range. And since it looks like the favorite of Nurgle trait is a little bit wonky, we now go up to the max tier favorite of Nurgle, so all hail Tamurkhan, the Maggot Lord, fated son of the great Kurgan, champion of Zanbai-Jin, bringer of desolation. Favorite of Nurgle, the throne of chaos shall be his. We get 15% more ward save for Tamurkhan, and then we get 2 uses of Endemicium, which is hilarious. Great, so that also means we get access to ToD dragons, but we need 6 whole dominance to get one. Almost an entire chieftain. We need 3 for the aspiring champion, so it is different depending on how strong they consider that unit, which makes sense. Now, where did Boris go? I really wouldn't be surprised if he went all the way down and around. He comes out over here somewhere.
Master of hosts.
Tamurkhan, you don't have any fun kind of teleporty movement stances, so we may just want to move over here towards the monolith of Bubonicus.
dare give me orders?
Handle.
That'd be much worse than that for you. Whether that moves into their territory from there. Unfortunate. Come on out. See how much attrition we are going to be taking. He could have come on back over here to the Tower of Torment as well. Westerlong is not a settlement I care about that much. We're more or less just moving through and trying to yoink up all the goodies that we're able to. Let's go more income from the microbial bog there.
It brings gives me joy.
Champions can join up.
Our feet blister.
These two champions can join up. And then we'll keep the counter here for one more turn while Tamurkhan deals with the monolith, and then we'll send him back around to the Mountains of Morn. Help out with that fight. Here at the Writhing Fortress. I just want to get an additional cycle building moving. Let's go for the Rot Knight one, or the Living Tree of Decay. Here at the Gallows Tree. 10,000 for the Gallows Tree. The duration for all future plagues does sound pretty fantastic, though. We'll go ahead and get rid of the growth building is so good, too. Let's upgrade the tendrils, and we'll keep... Go ahead and get rid of that one, too. Because we want to get our timber building in at some point here. Let's upgrade infections and growth for now. 50 Morks chosen to snuck on by.
Ailmancy.
Realize that we're not quite at war with them yet, but it's only a matter of time, so as soon as we're able to move the counter down, we are going to. Go a few more rot flies.
Come, serve Popfather.
Alright. Don't really want any Norskin outposts. We could get one with the Chaos Dwarves, which I think we definitely will. Let's go Granite Spikes, or not. Prefer to be at the Valerie, help them defend there. As long as our outpost isn't giving them the likes of just normal Nurglings. We'll get Bull Centaur Renders and a Grey Taurus. The missile troops I don't care about so much until they start getting access to the fire glaives and things. So construct this on in. Hope they can hold the line. That is a serious hope, though. Alright, Zara starting in their outpost as well, so they can start recruiting in some Nurgly units. Granite Spikes has fallen, though. You better get back over here and defend, otherwise you're going to lose the next one, too. Wa armies tend to be pretty heavily favored on auto-resolve. Where'd this army go? Alright, then. We need to do a bit of a change, because Tamurkhan's probably never going to have a proper battle again, is he? Everything's just going to run from him. I will auto-resolve this one. I am going to back it first, and then I'm going to loot and occupy. Because there's no way Kislev's going to come on back in. There we are. Gives us one extra dominance, and then... Oh, are we up to his battle already? That's very cool. So you should get up to that your next turn, then. Alright, alright. Get another growth plague out and running. What is the one that you currently have there, Tamurkhan? Plague may be already gone. That one didn't last very long. We'll give you a new one then. Maybe fleshy abundance for the battle ahead. We'll go growth and then Vanguard deployment. Let's make it last a few more turns. 6 turns, and then give it a little bit more spread. 400 is a scary amount, but that's about as much as I'm willing to spend here. Back to Tamurkhan. Hope that comes down to the settlements nearby. Monicus has a growth or a income building already, which is good. Where was the Bleeding Spire at? What's over here? That's perfectly fine. Let's go ahead and grab the Toxic Spores and even more gold. And then we'll have you counter pop out, go into an ambush for one more turn just to see if we can convince Kislev to attack over here. They're likely up here somewhere. There's really no telling where that army ran off to. That's 2 in a row now. One with Boris, the other one with a smaller force. They're just going to disappear. we'll take more control and more growth. It's good to be. So let's take a look. Can we just activate the battle now? The answer is no. I am tempted to go for this one, though. Give us 20% more chance for plagues to spread. Year's gonna last for 3 more turns. Hasn't even spread to the Spire yet. Let's use one of our dominants here to try out the extra chance for the plagues to spread. Makes it glow green, cool. And then just a 10-turn cooldown. Foulment's Wake. Enough to go around. Isaac revels in such filth. Alright, yeah, so Kislev just runs for the hills. How fun. So something in the water at the Bleeding Spire. An uncommonly bloated plague toad is drawn helplessly to the befoulment of a nearby sewer. It cannot squeeze itself through the entry grate. We've actually already had this one before, so we've got 5 corruption here in the Bleeding Spire. Need to keep unleashing the leech-filled plague toads. Form a military alliance with any faction.
Master of hosts.
Maggot Lord, you come on out.
Warriors.
Let's have ourselves a fight with Isaac's quest battle here. Do we have any additional wild trolls I can summon on in? It'd be best for me to look over here with this army. No, just hounds. Just hounds. We could also grab the Thunderguff. So I can get rid of this last group of Nurglings here, which I think I will send these guys back to the ROR pool. And then we'll grab ourselves the Bilious Thunderguff instead. Be another anchor. I guess we could have got rid of the Furies instead, but they're a fire and forget unit. Alright, let's try out Kazik's mission here. Should have just about everything we need. I guess we'll see. Missing out on our artillery is hurting. We will get them soon, though. Who's gonna peer through your eye sockets yet? So win the following battle. Fat Sod the Devourer. Fat Sod, Great Unclean One, Lord of Stench and Bile, the burping enormity, and most rotund of the host, has been recently blessed by Nurgle with enormous proportions. Unfortunately, its insatiable appetites have also grown exponentially, and it has taken to snacking on the mortal warriors of Nurgle's warband. Gloriously unholy or not, Fat Sod must be dealt with. Most zealous followers of Chaos may see their devouring as a blessing. The chieftains cannot accept such losses if Nurgle's rot is to ever be spread across the land. 5,000 treasury, devoted fealty with this chieftain, 100 more infections, and 7 extra dominance. So it kind of pays for itself. I can't wait. Fat Sod had better be gigantic. Zoom to location. Where's it at? Really? Here at the Falls of Doom? That's not going to make the Chaos Dwarves happy. We're supposed to be all the way down here already? We're slacking. We are slacking. Let's fight. Fat Sod versus Tamurkhan. We have Pandaceum. You're in so much trouble. And Demacium. We're never gonna be able to say that one. Almost guarantee it. Yeah, Nurgle v Nurgle. You come up. He is small compared to the Toad Dragon. Awesome.
The hunger of the great unclean ones is legendary, but this one turns its appetite on its own. For that, Nurgle will have me put it down.
Alright, short and sweet. Now, we have Vanguard deployed, but we don't know where the reinforcements are coming from. Probably means we want to probably strike from about right here and move on in. Looks as though the 3 Heralds, the 3 Plague Ridden, are going to be our main goals. Then once he's down, maybe then... Or is this Fat Sod? He's just normal size. What do you mean, giant? Oh, how sad. Doesn't mean he might be twice the size he currently is. Well, in that case, we will send Thunderguff in to fight Fatsod. Tamurkhan can go after one of the other... What are these guys called? Chieftains? Lord of Agu, that's what I was looking for. They're lords of Fatsod. Demons up front.
Thralls of Decay.
Great weapons alongside them. Plague Ogres over here. Vile Trolls. Moving in from the woods with toads. We can have the Rot Knights also circling around. Probably from this side here. Azig rolling with them. Izar Doombolt, you are going to have your Drothzar coming out of the woods there. Those toadies on over. Kargans also could be on Operation Hunt Down Milchanis the Pestilent. He shall be your target. Beast center line. Estigor is finding a weak spot. It's good to me.
Son of Nurgle, form up wretches.
Form up wretches. Alright.
Maggot Lord.
That'll begin. Well, actually, that'd be a good big beastie go fight Fatsod together.
Virulent warfare. Plague and filth.
Charge on in there, individuals.
Warriors of Nurgle.
Trying to figure out exactly how the warriors, their warriors, are gonna roll in before I make my decisions. We're actually gonna have these shotguns work together on Fatsod.
By my savage spirit.
Go ahead and actually raise the visitations onto Fatsod. Just keep weakening him as much as possible. Send in the Pestigors after this group of Nurglings. Shotguns are destroying him. That's Kargan. Here's your target, my friend. Oh no, our Lord is under attack. Whatever shall we do? It looks like they're already disintegrating. Fatsod is healing, so we probably have to deal with these guys before he falls.
Cleave and contaminate.
Azig. The target is here. Rot Knights, you run this guy over. Where's my other group of Rot Knights? Got caught on the Plague Bearers. Will come through after the guy in the back line here.
Bring rot, make war. Blessings of the
Rot, make war. Yeah, looks like Fatsod is invincible until we take down his retinue here.
We are the foe.
Stop having you guys shoot him. That's a big waste of our shot.
Whoos.
Rifles. These start blasting somewhere that is a bit more useful. Glorious to go Potion of Toughness for more strength.
We love the
Ripping him apart.
Tamurkhan.
Tamurkhan should be dealing with this one. Yoshi, let's go find you a different target.
With toxic intentions.
Alright. Thunderguff. This is the one that's actually struggling here the most. Beast, pull you back, you as well. And everyone else kind of work together on the survivors.
Chaos commands.
I mean, this Great Unclean one is not messing around, is he? Fatsod is vulnerable.
Shar Unazan. Spread Nurgle's love.
Oh, hey on now. Tamurkhan must survive. Everyone work together then. Cinder Blast shell on this poor fool. Vulnerable he is indeed. I guess we actually get 3 uses of Pandaceum and Demacium. Just the big green beasties. Okay, Zik arrives. You are uber doomed. Tamurkhan as well. Healed up. Very impressive. We're gonna start blasting yours in these drones. Shotguns. You do the same. Pretty much everyone else just come on over and get ready.
It brings malady.
And that's that. Out units on the ground, the enemy is forced to land. That's what actually is supposed to happen when you use Termicide. Rest in peace, Fatsod. Yes, it was unfortunate that we had to destroy you. You got way too hungry for your own good. Alright, not so bad at all. Despite Clap Slar Graffer. We were fighting a myriad of interesting fellas that time, but we will go ahead and take the extra gold. Never have too much gold. Now Kasich is devoted. 20% more mover range for his own army. A Nurgle will bless the Horde with further military supremacy. Now got 8 dominance, and the choice is between getting ourselves a ToD Dragon or a new chieftain. I think the choice is easy. ToD Dragon. Maybe. Alright, we're gonna try this again. Last time we crashed, this time, give me a ToD Dragon. That's what I thought. And I think that goes immediately into Tamurkhan's group. What is he gonna get rid of in place for of a ToD Dragon? I think it's gonna be the Yoshis. You were glorious, but you were nothing compared to the might of your evolved brother, the ToD Dragon. Yoink.
Lord of hosts and demand more.
Look at that weapon strength. Oh, they even have the wall breaker effect, so they will be doing 50% damage against buildings. Unspeakable foulness to suffocate fools in pus and blood. That is a horrible way to go. Means we're gonna go ahead and grab one more point into Blessed by Blight. And I think Looter as well. Move down our Nurgly blue line. For Kasich, let's go ahead and snag the point into more balance.
Fodder for the ToD Dragons.
Doom Bolt, fodder for the ToD Dragons. We'll give you more weapon strength up to 536. We'll do 2 points into it then.
As our enemies fall.
Epidug will go one more point into replenish troops down towards the fleshy abundance.
Electrable.
He is saying inexorable. I just figured it out. It sounds like Let's Go.
Corpses for the corpse.
Big stinky Waluigi. From here, we need to stamp out Kislev. So Boris,
Warlord and
you were saying
no respite.
we'll move up to the Monolith of Vesterlong, and I'm gonna leave Tower of Torment for now and try to move up to take down the Howling Citadel, and that way I can secure myself another provincial capital. Smaller settlements are fine, and I can take them back from the Dawi Tsar at any moment. And if the Cool decide to take it, that works for me as well. I get to siphon their gold. So we'll come on in here and upgrade what we can. Monolith of Bubonicus. There is a Kislev force somewhere nearby. But I think I can go ahead and afford to retreat back towards the Gallows Tree. 3 turns before most of those good buildings go on in, and back at the Chimera Plateau, we're also out of luck in terms of any kind of building, so we're just gonna be sitting on 16,000 gold for a while. We're also full up on our heroes, more than we should be allowed to in most cases. Sweet, so our next goal is going to be then getting ourselves another chieftain. I'm thinking either the Famir chieftain, or we're gonna go ahead and grab Gruckmer. The High Elves, Dark Elves, or Wood Elves. You might want to hang out with the Famir until we actually are in an area where we'll be fighting them. So as we cross the Chaos Waste to the north, or as we move through towards Athaloran, we will go after the Famir. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to level them up, except for with our technology, which will be quite slow. We gotta go upgrade the monolith of Bubonicus. We can do so and see if we can lure in any of Boris's stragglers. Don't mind doing that. Check diplomacy real quick. Boxmakers of Nurgle are liking us quite a bit, so if we can get a confederation with these guys, that opens up a whole new vector of infection down there in the south. And then we're starting up a you guys campaign. Go ahead and take the military alliance with Zatan. I won't siphon his gold because he's going to need all of it. He's a Zatan. Indeed. And I get myself some more gold. For the war front. Now we need to build up to 20 allegiance points with our allies. So we shall. Bork's chosen. Looks like thankfully their war has ended, so we don't have to deal with any of that nonsense until they kick up a new one. Being the key word, until they kick up a new one. And there comes Boris. He's been hiding in next to the Writhing Fortress. While this is very clever, I'm not the biggest fan of the new strategies of the AI. They will not fight you at any point. They'll run from you and hide just outside of your vision and then strike when you and then have your back turned. So we'll have to then hunt down Boris in a moment. There's no way we can hold the line here. Alright, well, yeah, we've lost the Writhing Fortress indeed. We need to sprint back over and try to get it back. Boris's army is very weak because he's been more worried about sprinting and hiding from us than actually building up. Chances are he's going to run, and we're going to have the counter Scoliosis turn. Which we'll just have to deal with how Boris plays. No problem. Once you arrive, we'll see if we get any more pile trolls. Yeah, it looks like they're definitely going for a strike on the Bleeding Spire. Again, well, this is very clever. He avoided fighting us at every turn so that we could come in here and just try to take land from us. It's not the kind of difficulty I'm looking for here. We'll continue to harp on it. Let's come on down to the Challenge Stone, go on to tier 3 there. Yeah, the Marble Enclave would be great, but let's go ahead and upgrade the major settlements, make sure they're harder to crack. They have nothing but Nurglings until you get through up into tier 3. Then you start getting some Exalted Plague Bearers, but before that it's nothing but Nurglings, which is a terrible defense force. Alright, Tamurkhan, you've come on through. There's really no telling. There's likely another Kislev force building up in either two of these settlements here. So we should probably just save our gold for a moment. Upgrading would be probably a mistake. Let's go ahead and see if we can't send a plague on out from Tamurkhan. 4 more turns on this one. You know, we'll save. Thought about sending a plague out, maybe trying to catch them and starting them to attrition, but we'll wait for now. That means we skip on through. Upgrade the outpost in the Valerie. Or that allows them to recruit in Nurglings or us? Unclear, but it seems like it just allows them to recruit in Nurglings. Nurglish district. And neither of these are going to actually upgrade the defenses they provide, so what are we giving them here? Nothing. So our outpost doesn't actually provide any defenses? It just allows them to recruit Nurglings. Oh, how bizarre. Maybe the Nurglish outposts work different from normal ones. Well, I'm not going to be spending any extra gold upgrading it then, since it's not going to be giving them any better defenses. We'll come back up to Papa Tamurkhan. We'll end the turn. And what do you know? Stepan takes the opportunity to go after Monolith of Bubonicus, so we're going to have to chase them around. If I'm doing any building here, let's stop that immediately. Oh, good. The traveling clothes salesman has arrived again. Tamurkhan, can you reach the Writhing Fortress? Has Boris disappeared? Alright, Boris. The way you play is despicable. So let's go ahead and come on out. Catch him with an ambush. Good old Kislev trying to pretend like they are the Skaven. Not on my watch. We're gonna force them to choose. Likely the choice is gonna be ignore us entirely, go after Buponicus, and then we've wasted this turn here.
I will bring the
But we'll take that. We'll take that chance.
Fight for them.
Stealing a 120. Nah, it's not really worth. This is an interesting predicament we have ourselves in. Okay, so maybe the plague symptoms have changed, or we've got a new blessed one down here. 30 more armor. Not like the plagues we've got currently. The counter here can get an additional one.
Grandfather asks.
But let's not. We could just force him to start taking attrition with our activated ability here. But I think Boris is going to run away. He's going to go down here towards the fortress. Stepan will initiate the attack and Boris will follow in march stance. Let's find out. Go Relentless Assault. Yeah, I'm thinking Relentless Assault is the way here. Ooh, actually, take it back. Let's grab the attrition drop for future.
Nurgle's champion.
You would be losing how many? 7 told, or 7 total. That's not as bad. Alright, Boris. You can only run for so long. Fire the turtle, make sure there's nothing upgraded back here at all. Nope, we're good to go. Burn. Alright, so Stepan is attacking Buponicus by itself, and now we couldn't defend against this. Plague Bearers are tough, but they're not tough enough to hang against winged lancers, so we'll give this one over.
You speak to Tamurkhan.
Stepan wants us to join his war with Grimgore. No. Not yet. I have to deal with Boris. Yep, you guys managed to capture it, and what do you know? Boris is gone. Joy. Well, that means we might as well just capture the Writhing Fortress. He's almost assuredly right here. That's something I definitely need to see. I would love to see changed sooner rather than later. That is going to lead to a whole bunch of unfun campaigns for a whole bunch of other people. What he's likely doing is buying time for another force to build up armies. So now they've recaptured some land. Okay. No reason to upgrade that. And he knows where the counter is, so we're going past this after the gallows tree. This is pretty silly. Let's do a war shrine. I will give you a beast or two, because they are very good at holding. We'll go beast, one more toad, and then yeah, the war shrine. That's a proper army now. This army, we'll go ahead and drop the plague on and allow them to replenish more. Oh, we only have the recruitment health. I should have looked beforehand. More movement range if we catch them sounds great. And then we'll go ahead and grab Winds of Magic as well. Let's increase the spread just twice there, so we got a 50% increase chance. Then we'll go ahead and infect the counter. He can move further, and Boris, if he gets caught, will move less. Alright then. Which settlement do we lose next? Unholy Resilience for Tamurkhan. Go Fleshy Abundance to keep Plaids healed up. Warband of the Crazed gives us even more diplomatic relations with Warriors of Chaos. We'll get that working, and now we hopefully start getting a few more allies. Charmed Shield for Kargan. And no unassigned ancillaries except for this Poisoner here. In the Lord's army. Let's go ahead and give that to you. Leper Lord, Plague Doctor, good stuff. And then let's check our building options real fast. Of which there are not many. repair the Writhing Fortress, and then we will end the turn. Oh boy, Imminent Rebellions. Bring it.
You still have a tongue to talk?
Astrogoth wants a non-aggression pact now for 1,300. I'll go ahead and take that. Unless you're willing to give me any more. Oh, we shouldn't have tried. Now we're not allowed to take it at all. That's fun. Right, Rebellion of the Blood Marshes means that Archaon is going to try to come back from the dead, while Boris hides just probably out of reach. Looks like Karak now has claimed the Nemesis Crown as well. Let's get rid of Decasaur. Move right on through here. We lost 32 somehow. 10 each, huh? That is very generous. We will take the extra incubations. The extra infections, and we'll hunt down Boris here as one. I'm not even doing you the courtesy of fighting you on the battlefield. He's likely gonna run for his life. Hey, look at that. Come on, Boris. You're not getting anywhere. Make sure he's right next to. Grab increased mobility, and then training. Yeah, this army over here is now in between, so let's go ahead. If any upgrades to be had here at the Writhing Fortress. One more turn before we get the Diseased Grove in the capital, which is very good. And then this one's about to be upgraded as well. Sweet, so once we've dealt with Boris, we can finally turn and finish off his faction here. So we're only at 2 out of 10 battles to unlock the next tier, unlocking his Chieftain ability and Hell Cannons. For Doombolt, we are very close to the next one with 7 out of 10. For replenishment in enemy territory for whatever army he is actually deployed in, which is great. Alright, so let's give it one more turn.
Our host grows as our enemies fall.
Oh, I'm sorry, what? Sure. Alright, all the shenanigans are afoot here today. Yeah, you got it, but now you've got yourself a plague, so... See if you choose to run for your life again. Hopefully we have the movement to catch him. Once again, he runs. Not the bravest, are you? Join up with the garrison and just smash Boris here. This should be the most decisive victory there ever was. You don't deserve the battlefield. Yeah, of course. Yeah, you should not have slain a single soldier. That'd have been just one big Malabi charge, and that'd have been the end. Oh, we'll go ahead and grab the extra infections. Got Red Dead. What's great is you don't even get a very good defeat trait for dealing with our Scavenified Boris. Now we're going to move it with max aggression towards the monolith, and we'll have counter burn and running towards the challenge stone, because there are going to be greenskins soon. Go ahead and upgrade the walls, or the vial synthesis there. The growth building may be the best call. Allowing us to build up the challenge stone a little bit faster. We'll also grab the barricade of bones. And that is going to be our upgrades. So we'll fix up the bleeding spire again.
Son of the sickly wings.
For you, Tamurkhan, we'll get more growth and replenishment rate. For Kaizek, let's grab
Corpses for the corpse.
Relentless Assault for even more speed. He's up to 105 for a Nurgle hero, which is fairly insane. Causes fear and immune to psychology. Sounds good. All the extra little fear bombs are going to be very useful.
Master of hosts.
Terror is stronger, of course, but here works just fine.
Fodder for the ToD.
The Route Archer, inspiring presence for our Herald. We don't really need to spread corruption further in home territory, so we'll just go for melee stats. Or Ledred as well. Sweet. Can we replace anything with more Bile Trolls just yet? The answer is nope. So we will not worry about that for now, though. I'm out of time for today. Thank you all so much for stopping by today's Tamurkhan episode. If you enjoyed the video, remember to leave a like for the like god and a sub for the sub throne. I'll see you all in the next one.